Hi everyone, today I want to present something a little different that I've been working on for a while now. Basically, I've decided to focus on the downtown area of my layout with a rather ambitious idea, which has required some pretty meticulous planning. In a nutshell, I want this LEGO city to showcase my trains doing something called street running. I'll explain more about that in a moment. But first, I want to talk about the meticulous planning I mentioned. You see, in order to carefully plan the construction, I've built my entire future city in Studio.io as a digital model. This is LEGO City Downtown. The area is 7 base plates wide by 3.5 base plates deep. My guess would be that there are close to 30,000 LEGO bricks in this model. So you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble? There are two good reasons. The first is actually that I only have a few extra LEGO bricks in my inventory, so I need to be sure about what I'm building before I order more parts from Bricklink. The second, and more important reason, is street running. So, before we get more into the model, let me explain what street running is and why I chose it. So, have you ever seen a train driving in the middle of the road? It's that simple. Street running is basically when the train tracks are built into the pavement and the train has to share the road with vehicles and people. You might be skeptical if you've never seen this before, but even though street running is uncommon, it can be found in many different countries. Here are some examples from Australia, Japan, Italy, Switzerland, and the United States. There are plenty of older photos of steam locomotives doing street running as well. Which brings me to this photo of Syracuse, New York in approximately 1905. When I saw this photo, I was instantly hooked. The iconic steam engine moving between rows of tall buildings and even the trees in the distance. To add some important context, I discovered this photo when I was still stuck trying to figure out how to design my layout. Let me explain. Back in January, I explained I wanted downtown to be fun and vibrant and packed full of detail. In my design, I wanted to have a single train loop going around the buildings. I also wanted to have roads to feature some iconic vehicles. Now, space was very limited, so I couldn't fit separate roads and train tracks onto this layout. At first, I tried designing an elevated train line, or L-line, that would run above the roads. But I was worried that this would obstruct the view of the buildings. And that brings us back to the current model. In this design, street running is the answer to the limited space. So let's take a quick tour. First up is the tourism area. It will feature the hotel boutique and a modified Disney station, where I've added benches and a flower bed. The tracks in the road are designed so that a train can pull up next to the station. Next is Main Street. This area will have the Daily Bugle, the Ghostbuster Firehouse, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and a modified Sesame Street to fit on the corner. The space between the buildings is important so that the viewer can catch glimpses of the area behind it. This brings us to the back street, which will feature Diagon Alley. I've designed for enough space so that a train can run between the buildings here. There will also be a small park area at the edge of downtown, overlooking the rest of the layout. The road plates are designed so that they can connect to the raised bases of the buildings. All my buildings are on these raised bases, which is known as the Mills technique. The sidewalk is also just one tile taller than the road. The T-intersection is also important, because I want to give the impression that the city is larger than what you see, and also leaves room for expansion. That being said, the design does add a high level of complexity to the train tracks in order to maintain the illusion. Since LEGO does not currently offer any specialized track, I'm going to have to order from a third party. And that concludes the tour. I really hope you enjoyed the presentation. I always appreciate feedback and ideas, so let me know what you think about this design in the comments below. Now that the planning phase is done, the next step will be to start construction. If you're interested in following the progress on the layout, you can like and subscribe. It really does help support the channel. That's it for today. See you next time!